Revival House Network.
And don't like the brags, I don't like the boast. They like hot butter on the breakfast toast. Watching flicks, talking chicks that like to motorboat. Can Riverman make it, yo, a check? Nope. So look at all these movies I got. Commenting like, should we watch them or not? I know they just be acting for cash, but I still got one question to ask. Like, why'd he do that, do that, do that? If that was me, I'd be like, screw that, screw that, screw that. I'm an alpha, I'd eat through that, through that, through that. So why'd he do that, do that, do that?
All right, what's up, everybody? Zach and Aaron are back again. We are of the Revival House Network breed, and this is BTM commentary. Doing our request exploitation. We're going to go right into it. We're doing Alone in the Dark. Let's go in 3, 2, 1, play.
This movie is fucking ass.
Yeah.
I had to watch it today. It's fucking. See, here's the thing. I got I'm watching it. I'm like, this isn't so bad. Like, I've heard so much fucking terrible shit about this. My expectations are so low. I think this isn't terrible. I mean, it's not interesting. It's pretty boring, and it's not doing anything I think it's set out to do. It should be wrapping up. It's I'd say maybe 3 out of 10. And this should be wrapping up. Let me see how much longer I have. And then I look, and it's right in the middle of the fucking movie. I'm like, fuck this movie.
It's got Steven Dorff in it, right?
Exactly. That's how you know it's shit.
So
he isn't the real Dorff. He ain't no Brad.
Hey, off the record, I think I'm going to turn down. I'm spiking kind of hard. I'm turning down his volume a little bit. Is that going to fuck you up, Zach?
Yeah, this fucking Aaron, he can't. He doesn't know his own shit.
Well, I was kind of hoping you were going to edit that out in post, but
well, then you should have said it. You should have just turned it down.
Well, I didn't know if it was going to fuck up the operation after.
This is how little we give a shit about this movie.
No, so what happened? So we didn't even give a proper intro or anything because Zach is very limited on time. At first, he's like, I got like a 2-hour window. We got to be done by X amount of time. And then I get down here and he's like, actually, I got to leave like 30 minutes earlier than that. I'm like, well, this movie's like fucking an hour and 35 minutes. How does that work?
I might be gone in the last fucking 10 minutes of the show. I might be gone.
No, really?
Yeah, I gotta go to another I'm gonna start a new job, baby.
Well, why even are we even doing it then?
Because we gotta get it over with. Fuck this movie. Who gives a shit?
Why don't we? Oh, I'm not gonna do the last 10 minutes without you, man.
Why? You can't take one for the team?
No, I can't, dude. It just doesn't feel right. I feel like.
How doesn't it feel right?
Because I feel like we could just finish the last 10 minutes at another time.
That's fucking pointless.
I think doing a commentary we can't finish is pointless.
How was that?
Is that fucking Laura? What's her name? Jim Carrey's fucking Dumb and Dumber?
Don't change the subject, bitch. We're hashing this out right now.
What?
I want nothing to do with this. I'll probably just say, see, I had to watch this fucking earlier today so that somebody knew what was going on. And like I said, I got halfway in. I'm like, this is fucking, I don't know if I can do it. So I just started not paying attention because I definitely didn't want to watch it twice in a row. And so, yeah, I'm probably just going to sit here and look at my phone for an hour and 30 minutes. Hey, look at this guy. He fucking does that thing where he grows a beard and then he shaves the fucking under his chin. Why you do that? You look like a juggalo. That's like juggalo paint on your face.
You don't cut your fucking grooming, man? You don't cut your line? Like, how do you do it? You just go full on neck beard? Like strongman?
No, he's not cutting it below the fucking neck. He's cutting it below the fucking chin. He's not even hiding his fucking turkey neck.
Let people be, dude. Is this young Steven Dorff?
That's stupid shit.
Young Steven Dorff?
I'm not gonna let them be. They should be fucking castrated. They should be put to death. People that do that.
So are you serious? You might have to bail like 10 minutes before we're done?
Maybe.
Well, try it. How do you know? Like, okay, so what is it you have to go to? A doctor's appointment, or is it a job interview? What were you about to say?
I'm starting a new job tonight.
Oh, well, that's a big deal.
No shit.
I mean, I'm surprised you even wanted to do the podcast. What did you do? I mean, you don't have to go into it if you don't want to. What kind of job did you get?
It's another freaking cleaning job. I couldn't get nobody would call me back, and then finally I get another cleaning job, and it's only
That's
an
Christian
hour
Slater.
long.
I thought this was Stephen Dorff. That's Christian Slater. Stephen Dorff's not in this.
Guess not. Fuck
They're
that
very
movie.
similar. They're very similar. They both kind of have like I almost said mongoloid eyes, but that's insensitive.
This is great. He wakes up, and the kid's like, "Oh, did you have a bad dream?" It's like, why would you think that? He just kind of like, he just went, and just kind of woke up. He looked like he came.
Maybe he came in his pants. Maybe he had a good dream, you know?
And then he's like, "Oh yeah, my mom says there's nothing." He says something like, "Oh yeah, the dark is scary," and he's like, "No, I don't fucking know. I forgot already. Fuck this movie.
Okay, so tell me more about the gig, right? So it's only an hour? What?
It's only an hour."
Like an orientation type thing?
No, the job. It takes an hour, and I'm like, "Oh fuck, I ain't gonna make that much extra money." And then they're like, "Oh, but we pay like 30 something bucks an hour." And I'm like, "Okay."
Oh, really? That's good. That's good extra money, dude. Like just to an hour? What about the commute though? Is it pretty close?
It's fucking 5 minutes away.
Oh, dude, that's worth it, man.
Oh yeah. Listen
Wait.
to them fucking swallowing that microphone on this overdub.
Wait a second though. So if it's only an hour long, why didn't you suggest we just record when you got home?
Because then I gotta go to the other job. I got both of them.
Oh, I got you. It's all coming together for me now. I got it. Life, man.
Life, it's what happens when you're making plans, baby. It's fucking shit. We should just all fucking kill ourselves now.
Is that the weird kid that got locked up with Jason Ritter and Freddy vs. Jason?
Yeah, Uwe Boll like loves this guy's cock or something. He puts him in like all kinds of movies he makes. There's that movie fucking what was that movie called? The one where he's like a fucking crazy guy, fucking puts on riot gear and starts fucking shooting people.
Yeah, the one that's been requested. But is it Rampage? What's it called?
That's been requested.
I think it has, because we've talked about it in Ewe exploitation a lot, and it never comes to fruition.
I watched Rampage and it was fucking like, man, that's probably like his most highly rated movie, and it's like a 3 out of 10.
Yeah. This movie wasn't even worth getting a decent file size for either. It's awfully low res.
It looks like shit. I don't know if that's the copy or the movie looks like that.
It looks like a YouTube video from 2004.
It's like whoever edited the movie, they didn't disable resampling, so it looks like it's every fucking movement is ghosting. Like if you paused it, you'd see like, and you went frame by frame, you'd see like remnants of the last frame kind of fading out. It looks like shit. You'll notice it later in the action scenes. It fucking looks terrible.
I'll notice it even through all this like low res fuzz.
Yeah, the action scenes coming up are fucking hideous.
I see. Well, anywho.
Would you fuck this dude though?
Which one? The answer is no to both. Doesn't matter.
I'd fuck them both. I'd make them fucking scream.
Hey, man, you know what show I've been watching lately? You talked about it quite a bit over the last couple of years, but I watched Glow. I've been binging it anyway. I'm through the first 2 seasons.
Glow. Hell yeah, I watched season 3 recently.
I'm starting season 3 tonight. I think it's a great show, man, and it's fun, and I love the 30-minute run times. It's great. You can knock a whole season out. It just burns through. It does it right where it kind of, I know when I get done with season 3, it's going to leave me wanting more. Right, which I'd rather have them be, short seasons, 10 episodes, 30 minutes, than be overly long. Right?
Hell yeah! What's the name of the chick in the show? The main chick?
Oh, that's Allison Brie. That's Dave Franco's wife.
Yeah, she's showing her tits in the show. That's crazy.
I've only seen season 2, and she showed him a little bit in the locker room. One episode.
She shows them in the new season. They nice tits.
Okay, man. No more spoilers, man. I want to be surprised when I see the tits.
They're dank AF.
Spoiler alert. What the hell's going on here? It's like a putty from the Power Rangers.
Yeah, look at this. Look at this. Oh my god, it's like a strobe light going on.
Yeah, it's really dizzy. Was this an artistic choice or an autistic choice?
Both. Fucking Uwe Boll's the biggest autist I've ever met. Yeah, we should talk about Uwe Boll. He's a fucking weirdo. Like, I remember he was doing interviews where he's like, fuck Michael Bay, fuck all these people that watch Michael Bay, this stupid popcorn movie. It's like, motherfucker, you're like a discount Michael Bay. You're not even like you're Michael Bay if Michael Bay didn't get a bunch of people in the seats to watch the movie. You fucking Riri.
I'm shocked he gets C-listers in his movies, though. Even anybody that has any kind of name. I'm surprised he gets any budget. I don't. Did you ever? I think the only Uwe movie I tried to watch all the way through was In the Name of the King. You ever seen that piece of shit?
Look at that. He just fucking ninja kicked, fucking spinning kicked.
Dude, I thought this was based on a video game. Where's the horror element?
Yeah, like it sets it up like, oh yeah, this is fucking, you know, you're gonna see ghosts and shit, paranormal, and it's like a fucking Alien ripoff. They even like redo the fucking classic Alien reveal shot. It's stupid.
He's like, I will do your film, but I do it my way. It's not even an adaptation of the game. He takes extreme liberties.
Yeah, he's like the go-to video game. This is hilarious. Watch. He gets shot and he just fucking like takes it.
Let's see.
Whoa! The new kid. He took it. Whoa.
Look at that. Look at that effect. We should do House of the Dead, though. That's pretty bad. I've seen House of the Dead.
Oh, it went through the fucking barrel of the gun. It's like the end of Resident Evil 0.
I've seen House of the Dead. That's absolutely whose idea was that to, you know, splice in the game footage? Because that is the worst thing you've ever seen.
That was an autistic choice again.
You've seen it, right?
Yeah, I could barely get through it.
It is.
I hear part 2 is better with Sticky Fangus.
Sticky Fangus, dude. It's very off-putting. Like, I don't know if that was an agreement with Sega. Like, hey, you gotta, you know, put some footage in your game.
That's such a bad idea. It could only come from the head of Uwe Boll.
Yeah, it was ridiculous, man. And In the Name of the King, starring Jason Statham, that movie's trash. And I don't know why Jason Statham did a movie like that, even at that point in his career. It's terrible. Do you ever try watching that?
Hell no.
He's fighting these 6-foot humanoid rats, but they look like leftover costumes from the Power Rangers TV show, like dudes in rat costumes.
Hell yeah.
It's really bad. And the sequel, you know, who got handed those scraps? Dolph Lundgren. I mean, he's big on taking those sequel scraps.
Oh yeah. You ever hear like his whole scam behind making movies?
Who, Lundgren?
Fucking Uwe Boll. Oh look, hey, fucking Tara Reid. They put glasses and put her hair in a bun, and she looks like a smart person now.
It's like the
archaeologist.
It's like the Dits on Glow. The Dits on Glow. They give her the glasses and.
Hell yeah.
Anyway, you were saying?
Fucking, he has this scam, and it doesn't work like this anymore, which is why he doesn't put out movies anymore, I bet. But like the UK or wherever he's from, Germany, they used to be like Canada, where they'd like, oh yeah, we really take care of like our own, like you get tax breaks and stuff if you shoot the movie in Canada. And all like bands from Canada talk about like, oh yeah, the state of Canada, they pay for like studio time and shit if you record in Canada. It's weird. It's fucking weird. But like, yeah, in Germany they would do this thing like, oh yeah, he ends up making more money if he makes a flop than if he makes a good movie. It's through some loopholes and shit. So he basically just made shitty movies, and he kept getting more funding for more shitty movies.
Interesting. It reminds me of, I was listening to a podcast last night about the NWO, right? The wrestling. And it had Jericho, and he was hosting it, but he was interviewing Scott Hall. He was interviewing, what the fuck's his name? Eric Bischoff. And he was interviewing, I think like Booker T was there. I don't know. But Scott Hall was going off about, you know, it's like, I was at Madison Square Garden. I was headlining it. It was sold out. That's great. I wasn't making any fucking money in those days. I mean, that memory lives in my head. But at the end of the day, man, once you're not young anymore and the artistic shit goes out the window, it's all about that cheddar. Right? It's like,
the autistic shit too.
He's like, just fucking pay me. That's what Uwe Boll is, right? He's like, he found his way to make money. He doesn't give a shit if the movies he's turning out is just absolute tripe. He sounds like Charles Band.
Fuck yeah, Charles Band is more dignified than Uwe Boll.
Maybe, but I mean, is Charles Band movies even good? They're not good, man. These days, are they really good? They're trash.
I think he knows they're trash, and there's something fun about that. When you know you're trash, you know you're a bootleg fucking Uwe Boll. He's not he's better than Uwe Boll. I mean,
yeah. I wish you would have attended the Crypticon with Todd and I when he was there. He would have been he was interesting to talk to, and I would have liked to have interviewed him because he's fucking weird. I almost did. We set something up like after the fact. He gave me his card, and we were talking on Twitter, and I just never did. But that's before you were in our ranks, and you would have been the guy to talk to him.
Yeah, I'd have been like, well, how does it feel to live in Lloyd Kaufman's shadow? You'd be like, I don't live in... Lloyd Kaufman lives in my shadow. He's a bootleg me. And I'd be like, he's better. He makes better movies than you do, though.
He just had a sleazy vibe about him. He kind of reminded me... He was like a snake oil salesman or a used car salesman, right? And he reeked of date rape.
Yeah, he's like, fucking, let me sign your fucking DVD and you can have it for cheaper. Like that that's good. Whenever you go to his website, it's like, yeah, $30 for a new DVD, but you could get it for $25 if you let me sign it.
I'll tell you what,
he's amazing.
There's some good guests at that Kansas City con that are getting announced. I kind of wish they were there last year because I don't want to go to that one again this year, but too bad.
Fucking the fucking Death himself from Bill and Ted 2. I could take my Bill and Ted poster and get it signed.
You know, and Riverman could get his own 8x10 printed of William Sadler's oiled down ass from Die Hard 2 because he always talks about it, and get him to autograph it.
Oh, yeah.
No, Josh James, he's got a convention that'll be, I think it's coming up. I think it's just in a couple of months in his neck of the woods. He lives in Boise. And it's got Andrew Benarski. And I'm like, man, we need Andrew Benarski at one of ours.
They started letting him come back. I thought they fucking banned him after he got drunk and beat up a guest or something.
This guy looks like Eric Clapton, right?
Oh, yeah.
That certain era of Eric Clapton, slow hand era. Look at him. Anyway, yeah, dude, Benarski would be tops. I don't see how we could have a serious interview with him.
I don't know what I'd fucking say to that guy.
Yeah, I don't know.
What do you think of Trump, bro?
That would be a good starter.
Hell yeah.
That would be a good starter. Just get it going. I think he's the type of guy where you just need to kind of set him up, tee him up, and then he'll just go off. And I think saying something like a Trump thing or asking him a question, politically.
If they brought him back though, he maybe cleaned up his act. Maybe he wouldn't take the bait.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But he's funny.
He's like, I don't get drunk and fucking beat up people visiting anymore.
I would just like to see his table and he's got a lot of stuff to go off of. He probably has Street Fighter Zangief 8x10s. He's got Leatherface 8x10s. He's got probably Batman Returns chip 8x10s, which is the thing I like him from the most. Dad, go save yourself, dad, go.
Yeah, remember when you played the fucking retard in the Batman movie? That was your best role. You play a retard really good. You're really convincing.
No, we would just have to send you up there, and I'd have a camera, and you'd have to get him to sign a picture of Gunnar Hansen.
Hell yeah, the best Leatherface. Yeah. What do you think of the best Leatherface, Andrew? What do you think of this? You get pissed. Like, fuck his dead nuts.
He was lucky, though, that he got that job because there was that era, right? When Platinum Dunes or whatever the fuck, whatever Michael Bay's fucking company is that was remaking all these shitty horror movies. There was this thing where, hey, we got to make all these villains in these remakes hulkingly huge.
Oh, yeah.
They all did it. It's almost like they're in the same universe. Weren't they all Platinum Dunes? Wasn't Texas Chainsaw 2? Or is that...
Yeah.
Was it New Line or was it Platinum Dunes?
Both.
Yeah, it's like, okay, we got to have this big guy that uses steroids. He's 7 foot tall. We got to play him, have him be Leatherface.
Except for fucking Freddy. They didn't make him huge.
Yeah, that would have been weird.
That'd been hilarious. He looks like Super Freddy in the remake.
Like he drank the last vial of ooze.
Oh, yeah.
And then of course you had Jason, which they made Jason just ridiculously big. And then you have what's it called? It wasn't Platinum Dunes. Michael Myers, Rob Zombie. He got a wrestler to play, and I've never liked that Michael Myers. I don't like how he's so big and tall, and it's a little off-putting.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's too big.
Think his cock is big?
I don't know. I met Tyler Main, though, at one of the conventions River and I attended, and he was really skinny. Like, he was like a beanpole. I mean, I kind of thought he looked like he kind of had AIDS. I mean, that's a horrible thing to start, but no, he was small. He was older. You could tell it's like, I don't work out or anything, but he's a big dude. He's real tall. And I just remember eating Taco Bell. Yeah.
Oh yeah. What's the best Taco Bell taco?
Well, it's a taco that they don't really sell anymore. And for a while, the chili cheese burrito, it's like at first in the 90s, I swear every location sold them. Then, 10 years later in the early noughties,
you're naughty.
It was just kind of depending on the store, like franchise, or they were off the menu, right? You'd be like, hey, I know it's not on the menu. Can you whip me together a chili cheese burrito?
Do you fucks with the Doritos Locos?
I don't eat that shit anymore, man, so I don't fucks with none of it. Even though it would be tempting if they brought back chili cheese burritos, which they have all the ingredients there. Like, just fucking, all the meat's the same. Everything at Taco Bell tastes the exact same.
Bootleg meat.
Doesn't it all taste the same? It doesn't matter what you get.
The Doritos Locos is dank.
You could be eating an enchilada. You could be eating a Crunchwrap Supreme. You could be eating a soft taco, a 7-layer burrito, and it all tastes the fucking same. But if they could whip me together chili cheese burritos, I would eat it out of just nostalgia. Because and for a while when I was going to Nebraska to visit Todd and stuff for a week, that was just a tradition, man. We'd go and get chili cheese burritos and go in his basement and watch Friday the 13th marathon or something and just gorge ourselves. And he would always get a Baja Blast because that was his thing. But I would just fucking down like 5 chili cheese burritos. I didn't give a fuck. And they used to tear me up, man. I used to have the most wicked fucking chili cheese shits after. And it's really weird because did you ever have a chili cheese burrito?
Nope.
Okay. The cheese to chili ratio is 50-50. Like, it's a lot of cheese, right? But that's the beauty of it. So I think my sphincter doesn't know whether it wants to run like a faucet or be clogged up.
Because you got a beta sphincter.
I guess so, man. I don't know.
It's a beta. You need to fucking loosen that shit up. Like, all of my shit just plops out like water.
I heard a joke earlier. You said sphincter, and it reminded me. Somebody was reviewing The Joker because they finally watched it, and this comedian said, like, yeah, it's pretty dark. And he goes, and somebody said, he's like, it was darker than Don Cheadle's sphincter. Like, what the fuck?
I'd fuck him.
Don Cheadle?
Don Cheadle and the guy saying it. Why not?
Remember, he was in Boogie Nights. That's the first time I saw Don Cheadle.
Do you know there's a band called Illuminati Hotties?
No.
That's genius. I'm surfing the fucking internet. Like I said, I'm just looking at my phone through this whole movie.
Oh, I gotta say. So, I mean, I guess.
No, wait. They should have called it fucking Illuminati Jihadi Hotties.
Yeah, that would have been funny.
That would have been fucking danker. Or what if they had the one of those band names where they put the fucking person's name in the beginning? They could call it John Gotti and the Illuminati Hottie Jihadis.
I think it would only.
That's a tongue twister.
I think it would only do well for them. Any news is good news. It worked for Mia Khalifa, right? She put on the hijab or whatever, and it's like, oh, look at me. Now,
oh yeah, them tits.
I'm just saying, like, the shock value, especially when you start attaching Muslim culture to it. Just put that in your band name, and it'll cause attention, right?
Fuck yeah, and draw Muhammad on the cover.
All right,
that'd be fucking hardcore.
No, just make the cover of your album a bunch of those like women with their heads coming out of the dirt like plants. You know what they do to women out there over there?
Hell yes, that's where we fucking should be doing it everywhere.
You know, if they look at you wrong, man, they put them in the dirt.
Look at that chick. She hot.
She got big shoulders. She's kind of handsome.
Oh, God, you beta.
But anyway, going off topic, if we don't want to talk about this piece of shit movie, I mentioned to you a podcast or two ago, but, I finally was playing Castlevania Symphony of the Night, and I beat the game.
Dog.
Over a week ago. Like, I beat the game over a week ago, and I'm still playing it because I want to 100% it. I'm playing the version that they released on PlayStation 4 as part of the collection with Rondo of Blood and that, right?
Yeah, fucking, you're not playing the original version, which has fucking hilariously shitty fucking voiceover acting.
You sure? It's the fucking same to me.
The new one probably has bad voiceover acting too, but I think it's different.
I don't know. See, the thing is I've just never sat and played through the game, but I've seen it played a million times, and I've even started it, but never really got anywhere with it. I'm pretty familiar. I've seen that intro scene, right, where he's talking to Dracula's talking to fucking Richter, And make them your slaves. And it sounds the same to me than it always has. And what's with the reverb they put on it, though?
You got to have that reverb. It lets you know that you're in a big fucking hall, baby. It's the Dracula's castle.
But anyway, the game's that good to where I'm trying to 100% it. And I'm not really this guy that wants to fucking get trophies and platinum trophies. But this is a game I'm trying to get. I'm trying to get the platinum. But it kind of sucks because to get a platinum, since it's a collection game, I have to get all the trophies and achievements in Rondo of Blood. Not as fun because Rondo of Blood's tough. It's tougher than shit. And it's kind of weird going from Symphony of the Night, which is more open and free. And, obviously there's the RPG elements, and going to Rondo of Blood, which is more classic level based. And it's tough as shit, man. So, but gladly, thank goodness most of the achievements are on the Symphony of the Night. And as far as Symphony of the Night, I've almost 100%ed it. The only thing, I'm missing a couple of small little achievements, which I can get tonight. And the map, I'm missing one room, and I have no fucking clue where it is. I'm still at one room.
Fucking, the fucking map I sent you, the purple didn't help.
I already had those cleared. It's one, literally, I did this thing where I'm zooming in, because it's a little cumbersome, kind of looking at everything. It's so long, a giant map. So I'm having to zoom in and go frame by frame, like, okay, and then looking at my TV, looking at the picture on the phone. And maybe I was just looking at it too long a few nights ago when I last attempted it, but I got to sit down and just find that last damn room.
Hell yeah!
But that's gonna drive me crazy. I beat it with Richter too to get an achievement as well, which was fun. Yeah, but it's a great game.
Did you just do the fucking jump fly to the end?
Well, I couldn't do it from the very beginning. I was able to expedite it pretty fast, but people were referring to it as if like you could just do the jump from the beginning. Can you?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? Like from where you are in the castle. Like that first frame, there's like a glitch or something?
Oh no, you gotta get to the certain area where you can do it.
Yeah.
Then you just down, up, jump.
Down, up. Yeah, the uppercut. Yeah, I mean, you can get through it pretty fast. I mean, I got to him in 2 hours. And even then, I was just kind of having fun actually exploring the map. And I was, getting away from the point of me just wanting the achievement.
Yeah. Richard's a little bitch. He dies super quick.
Yeah, that too.
Fucking 2 hits, he's dead.
Well, that's something I'll say. Symphony of the Night, it's a lot easier because of that RPG level up system. It's a lot easier than something like Rondo of Blood. By the time I was at the end of the game and I was fighting Dracula and I was fighting all these guys, they were so fucking easy. Like once you get the chrysogram, you get the chrysogram, and once you get the chrysogram, you don't even fucking need the magic anymore. I mean, you don't need magic. You don't need the sub items. I never once cast a spell when I was playing the game.
I only do whenever I accidentally fucking cast a spell.
Yeah, it's like they don't really help you. And I didn't even use familiars. I didn't even look at what they fucking were until I had beat the game, and then I looked at all the trophies I missed. Just because I like to play the game naturally and just kind of get what I get naturally going across the story. And then after I beat the game, I'll look at what I missed and what I have to do extra. And then I'm like, oh, it says, there's always something to do with the familiars. I'm like, oh, I didn't know I had to level these up. I kind of thought they would use MP, so I just like avoided it because I was all about using certain magic up to a certain point. Or I'm sorry, sub items. And no, they didn't. I should have been like carrying those fucking things with me the whole game to level them up. And then one of the achievements was just performing every spell once. I'm like, all right, that's the only time I performed them. But the game was a blast, and I knew I'd like it. It was just a matter of sitting down and doing it. I played the Game Boy Advance ones, and I played the DS ones, and they're great. I mean, did you ever play any of those? Yeah, so they were more of the same, but each one is very similar, but they add new elements or new mechanics and shit in the game. But this one was just bigger.
Mechanics
or whatever. This one was just bigger and more just to it, more grandiose. I don't know.
I prefer mechanics. We should start saying it like that.
Mechanics.
When I'm president, if you don't say mechanics, you have to leave the country.
I'll tell you where that comes from, actually, because growing up, and Mac and Zach were giving me shit about Metallica today. Anyway, the first Metallica record, the track, The Four Horsemen, it was a song that Dave Mustaine had originally wrote, and on the demos it was called Mechanics, but they stylized it with an X at the end instead of the C and the S and all that shit, because they were trying to be hip, I guess. And
They just can't spell.
well, I didn't know. I knew how to spell mechanics, but I didn't really catch on that they were just trying to be clever. And I thought it was I thought it was mechanics. Right? I always read it as mechanics on those old demos, and it didn't make any sense to me because I knew a mechanic as a guy that fixes cars. Obviously, mechanics can mean other shit. Now I know that. And the song itself, I didn't really know what the fucking song was about, so it didn't really scream, okay, this is supposed to say mechanics. I thought it was some cool, like, old biblical word, mechanics. Anyway, so sometimes I still slip that and say that.
Fucking, dude, fucking Metallica fans, they're meth heads and they eat their boogers.
I thought you were going to say, well, it's official. Metallica dropped your IQ a little, technically. Because it's like... well,
hell yeah. That would have been all... See, I need to go back in time so I could have said that. So it sounds like I fucking just burnt the shit out of you.
No, it's so fun. I just love, but you know what? I love the ribbing and stuff. I think it's fun. I like trashing about music. I don't care. Dude, I grew up a Metallica fan. You don't think I took shit from like a lot of people?
When they saw you eating your boogers, yeah.
Yeah. They're the biggest band in the world, so of course they're going to have just as many haters as they do lovers, so it's just you got to deal with it. But Mac, dude, his arguments were fucking stupid. I thought his arguments were really weak. You were just kind of coming at me with the troll responses, which is par for the course. His fucking arguments and troll responses his game was weak because he kept just going off of like, oh, they're so easy, so simple. Like, okay, like what are we in the 5th grade talking about who's better?
His troll ain't on fleek like me,
man. Like I said, I don't think being super technical doesn't always equate to being good, man. That's not the thing. They can't all be
zingers.
Rivers of Nile or these are, like I said, Revocation, these tech death bands or these tech thrash bands or whatever.
Look.
Ew. It looks just like it. Well, I mean, no, it doesn't, but you know what I mean, the execution they're trying to do.
Let's do it just like that, but shitty. You know what? That might be why the whole movie looks like shit, is so that it's not as jarring whenever the shitty CGI happens.
Wait, so Alone in the Dark, I never played an Alone in the Dark game in my life. Does this have any resemblance? Does it have that little black creature in it? Isn't it?
The only Alone in the Dark I remember, no. It's not like this at all.
Interesting. Is that supposed to be an alien, like from another planet, or is it a monster, a demon? What is it?
I don't know. It's a fucking shit show is what it is. It is a turd on cinema, on the film.
It'll be interesting if this turns out to be more sci-fi, because I love the sci-fi genre. I love the sci-fi horror genre, but there is more shitty movies in that genre than there are good movies. I think it's with every genre. But
speaking of music, I've been listening to a lot of Neil Diamond recently.
King Diamond? Fuck yeah. I'm just kidding.
Neil Diamond. Fucking Neil.
Yeah, why?
I want to party with Neil.
Why do you like Neil Diamond so much, man? He's got
I don't know.
He's got weird eyebrows. His eyebrows freak me out.
It's one of those things where it's always been like, oh yeah, I need to check something, like I need to check that out. You ever know, like I usually hate greatest hits compilations, but like they're good to turn to if like there's an artist you don't know where to start with.
Okay.
Or even better, like the essential, because they don't just stick to like, because sometimes it's like, oh, the essential Iron Maiden. It's not a greatest hits. They don't just stick to what's the number one hits. They have some fucking deep cuts in there.
So before listening to it, when everybody said the name Neil Diamond, what's the song that popped in your head?
The only thing that popped in my head was fucking Saving Silverman, because that's a big part of the plot in that movie for some reason.
I was just trying to test you, because I was just like, he probably means Neil Young, and that motherfucker's getting the name wrong. But yeah, Saving Silverman, Neil Diamond, you're right. I was waiting for it. Like, I was waiting for you to say, like, Harvest is a great album. Like, that's fucking Neil Young, motherfucker. But Neil Diamond? Really?
Hell yeah, Neil. She torched Neil.
You like Barry Manilow too? I always think they're like they're the same person.
You, baby, you're the best part of me. The best that I am or ever will be.
We were singing Creed earlier in voice chat messages.
Hell yeah, Max like fucking the only good song Metallica ever wrote is One. I'm like, no, I disagree. Fucking Creed 1 is superior to Metallica 1.
And there's U2 1. There's Jet Li's the one.
One. Oh, one.
I feel angry. I feel it. Yeah, he sucks, dude. remember when
he's amazing.
When they came out, everybody was like, it's just Pearl Jam. People are stupid because it's not. It was the same media reviewers and critics that were saying Limp Bizkit and Korn were the same band.
Cause we all live under the rain. Oh, monkey.
Motherfucker, that is Steven Dorff. He's in it too. They have Steven Dorff and Christian Slater.
You thought I was joking when I said he wasn't?
No, I always thought it was Steven Dorff. But then I saw Christian Slater and they always kind of reminded me of very similar faces, right? They're very similar looking type of actors. If you get one of them, you don't put the other one in your movie. And not only are they in the same movie, but they're sharing a frame together. This is blowing my fucking mind.
Dude, Steven Dorff peaked with The Gate when he was a kid.
Aren't these very, but do you know what I'm saying though? They're very similar actors. Who are two actors do you think are
They're split from the same fucking genome.
Who's two more actors that are very similar that you can't see in the same movie together because they're too close in resemblance?
Patrick Swayze and Kevin Spacey, I always get mixed up just because their names sound alike.
Okay, when I was a kid, I used to think Patrick Swayze and Kurt Russell looked a little too similar. And I think it was down to the physique and the way their hair was. They both had that 80s kind of mullet. Think, Big Trouble Little China and Roadhouse.
Kurt Russell is fucking cum personified. Like, you can't look at Kurt Russell and not want to cum. Patrick Swayze,
Yet you don't fucks with Escape from LA. Escape from LA.
Exactly.
But that movie's...
They should have hired Patrick Swayze to be in that movie.
I finally watched Roadhouse in 2019, and I had never seen it. And I'm like, it's okay.
I thought the same thing.
Everybody always talks about Roadhouse. It's always like an inside joke, obviously the Family Guy thing, but Roadhouse is still a Swayze classic.
It's got a great freaking sleazy 80s vibe to it, but it's just like, it's whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I would even go as to say, when I say it's a 5, but I would say it's not, it's higher than a 5. It's at least a 6, but it's just not the movie I was expecting. Man, where's this movie that people always fucking talk about? I thought it was gonna be like 8, 9, or 10, like a classic. But it's just whatever. It's okay.
Speaking of movies, though, I remember a long time ago you told me you never seen The Omen, and I put that on my list of cinema because I wanted to make a list of stuff I knew you never saw. And on a recent podcast, you said you saw it and it was underwhelming.
No.
Beta boy.
So, what you talking about, the fucking remake or what?
Either. The remake is just a fucking shot-for-shot remake.
No. I need to correct you. I've never seen it, but I've read the synopsis and I've read how many people die in it. And I've seen like the quick cut, the version. Give me the notes. And I'm like, this sounds all very underwhelming. I've never actually sat and watched it.
You fuck boy.
I'll watch it. You want me to? I'll watch it. And then we got to watch
the fucking synopsis, blueprint of it.
We got to watch the frame by frame of the remake too.
Yeah, I was thinking we could do that. We could have episodes where we watch the original and remake and compare them. Like special episodes.
Hey, this is like Alien. What the fuck is this?
It's fucking shitty. That's what it is.
And what do you think's going through Christian Slater's mind right now when he's looking at that? Like, man, what am I in right now?
He's thinking, I hope this crazy German guy really pays me what he says he's going to pay me.
Exactly. He's like, this is highly derivative. What he's doing right there in front of me is highly derivative.
Of movies, and it's based on a game that is also like, it would have already, you wouldn't even had to have written anything. It's like, they hired someone to write this. They didn't have to. The game exists.
You were saying he's like a poor man's Michael Bay, but he's actually, if you really want to compare apples to apples, he's more like a poor man's Paul W.S. Anderson, right? Because Paul W.S. Anderson...
Fuck yeah.
Paul W.S. Anderson, he's the guy that Hollywood goes to for video game adaptations, but he gets the big budget ones, right? People might still tear him apart, and they might be bullshit to film snobs, but they're doing money in the box office, and he's getting budgets. He is the counterpart to that, where he's getting $100,000. He gets Tara Reid, and they send him to Atlanta for 2 weeks to film something on a budget.
Yeah, remember when Tara Reid was getting all these huge Hollywood movies, and now fucking she's getting jobs from Uwe Boll?
How long was she really getting huge Hollywood movies? It seems like she was the thing for like a year, and then she went straight to making that Crow movie with Edward Furlong.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That year.
What else was she in besides? Well, she was in Van Wilder, but that
She
was
was in American Pie.
Obviously.
All of American Pie movies.
Yeah, I mean, if they ever make another one, they're insured work. Chris, what was the last one they made? American Wedding, right? American Wedding.
American Reunion.
Reunion. Well, by the time Wedding and even Reunion came out, especially Reunion, most of the cast, their time had already been seen and gone.
Yeah, that was the first time seeing them in a while.
Because
it's like, oh, they're back.
But yeah, they're franchised in. It's like, oh man, they can't wait for that call. Chris Klein, he might as well have been dead in an obituary somewhere for the last 10 years, but he shows up in that. It's like, well, we can't really recast him. And like, I don't really want to make this call either, the producer said. But he's kind of in the movie. All those guys. Chris Klein.
Yeah, the last thing I remember Chris Klein in before fucking those movies was like, what was that Farrelly Brothers movie?
Ooh.
Where he played like, I met this chick and we had sex, and then later on we found out we're siblings.
I don't even know.
The plot of it.
I'm thinking Hall Pass and they're Stuck on You. What am I missing?
This is before those.
I don't even know, man, but that fucking kid cannot act.
Oh, he's amazing.
And I hate to say it, but he's a hometown hero, man. He was from Papillion, Nebraska, which is in the Omaha metro, where, Todd lives and where I grew up. And
do you hate living in his fucking shadow, Aaron?
we were living and going to high school when they made the movie Election, right? With Reese Witherspoon.
Yeah.
And they were filming it at Papillion High School. And we were going to high school.
Did he get to fuck Reese Witherspoon?
I don't. Did he wither her spoon? That's what you should have said, right? So that your thing. Anyway, he got picked up. He was going to Papillion High School, and I guess they had an open audition for the high school, like drama for the kids at the high school too, for a part. And they actually cast him in that movie, and that's what launched his career. And then he got American Pie, and that's pretty much where he peaked.
Where the fuck were you? Why weren't you there?
Because I didn't
fucking take his thunder.
I didn't go to Papillion High School.
Fuck, boy, you made the wrong decision.
Yeah. Well, and he's a shitty actor, man. That guy can't carry his weight. I saw him in that.
Exactly.
I saw him in that Street Fighter, Rise of Chun-Li or whatever, that shitty sequel Street Fighter. You know what I'm talking
about? No.
It is so bad. That guy, I don't know.
Your hometown hero, Chris Klein, he was born in Hinsdale, Illinois. He's a hometown hero for me too, and I didn't even want it to happen. To know about it.
So he was born there. Well, so I mean, maybe that's why you and I were brought together by fate, and we're so fucking stupid because
exactly
we share the gene pool of him.
Hell yes,
right. I'm sure somewhere down the line he fucked one of your cousins. Maybe when he was a baby. Okay, since he didn't live in Illinois his whole life, obviously. I want to say he was born there. Then his redneck uncle fucked him.
Yep.
Molested him. And
then the first time I fucked my cousin, it all came together.
Well, and I just wanted to say that the redneck uncle that fucked him probably fucked a third cousin from you. And, whatever. The tree groweth, right? The family tree groweth. Mm-hmm. And then he went to Nebraska and he spread his fucking seed there. And I don't know.
He was in the Rollerball remake. Remember that?
Yeah, that's when he...
Neither do I.
I remember it for a second because it's Slipknot. I remember when the Iowa album circuit was out, they were playing on that. They were in the movie.
Really?
Yeah.
In the soundtrack or in the movie?
In the movie. They were playing at one of the events.
They're like the Deftones. They were in the fucking Crow 2.
The Crow 2. And Rammstein was in Triple X.
What the fuck?
You've never seen Rammstein and Triple X?
No, it's just weird that fucking these bands were in these movies.
And it's all for their second albums. Rammstein had their second album dropping, the third album, Mutter, but it's the second album that it followed the fucking Sensuet, the Du Hast album, so it kind of felt like it was second album. But yeah, they're singing that Fire Fry. They're at like some club and they're playing. And then Slipknot doing the Iowa. I don't know if they were playing. They weren't playing My Plague because that was on the Resident Evil soundtrack. It was another song off the album. It might have been Heretic Anthem.
You are all fucked and overrated. I think I'm gonna be sick and it's your fault.
But that was a period of time where, all those actors from American Pie had careers. They all were like candles burning at both ends, though. I guess the person that had the most longevity was Stifler.
Mm-hmm.
But even he's faded. But Stifler, I think Stifler could still have a comeback. He's not irredeemable. You know what I mean? He's just gone through that slump, but he was around for long enough.
He needs Dude, Where's My Car too.
He was around for long enough, and he's been in enough cult classics like Dude, Where's My Car?
Dude, Where's My Saucer could be the second one. They're in space and they lose their UFO.
The Rundown, Bulletproof Monk. What's that one that people still like? Fucking
Goon.
No, what's What's the one with him and Paul Rudd?
I don't know.
Why can't I fucking think of it? Where they're the big brothers, right? They have like the little kids, the sponsors, role models, right?
Oh.
That one still has legs because it's been on Netflix or whatever, and everybody started talking about it again. But so and then he got that job on the Lethal Weapon TV show, but I think they're canceling it. He got it, and they only had it for one more season, so he's still redeemable. He needs to get like in a Tarantino movie or something. Jason Biggs, he kind of had a similar type of he's second most after him. He actually had some projects. He lasted a little longer. He went away, and then he kind of came back with Orange is the New Black because he was on that show. But yeah, the women of that fucking movie, man. You know, usually it's like, aren't they the ones that pull the Jennifer Aniston and they have the career out of all of them? But fucking Tara Reid, man, she went to fucking hell in a handbasket, and Shannon Elizabeth went to hell in a handbasket. I mean, I'm sure she was super excited to get Kevin Smith's call that they were fucking making Jay and Silent Bob reboot. Like, thank God.
Hell yeah. Chris Jericho was in the Jay and Silent Bob reboot too, and I completely forgot. It's a scene that could have been taken completely out. I don't know why it was there.
I mean, to me, a movie like Jay and Silent Bob, I haven't seen the new one, but the original Jay and Silent Bob is a lot of scenes that don't really need to be in the movie, and it's just like, I mean, they're just there because they're funny and they don't bloat the runtime. But
are we seeing Tara Reid's titties? No, she's wearing a bra.
She's got those fucked up floppy titties like Mr. Garrison on South Park after he got the sex change.
Hell yeah, fucking Mr. Garrison's hot.
Remember who he's fucking like, fuck my monkey ass. Richard Dawkins.
Yeah.
He was fucking.
Fuck yes.
Richard Dawkins was fucking pound my monkey ass.
I'm a monkey. I'm a monkey, Richard. That's fucking hot.
But
see, this is around the time when I'm like, okay, this should be wrapping up. And he's like, I'm not hating this movie. Yo! And then, fuck.
Yeah, 45 minutes, man. I can't believe we got 45 more minutes, man.
Isn't that fucked up how, like, whenever you're watching a movie, you see half of it and it seems like you watched the whole thing?
Yeah.
Like, it fucking just, time slows. That movie I was thinking of with Chris Klein, the Fairley Brothers movie where he fucks his sister, that was called Say It Ain't So.
See, I don't even remember that. That was a Fairley movie?
Came out in 2001.
Wow, that was a fucking sleeper. No, not even a sleeper hit. It was just a bomb. Like, no one, that was under the radar, huh?
It's got a 5 out of 10 on IMDb.
That's generous sounding.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like, I always felt like they blew their wad with Dumb and Dumber and then Son About Mary. Because they did Me, Myself, and Irene, which I've always said was half of a great movie.
I like that movie.
I know, but it's uneven. It's front loaded. The first half is fucking hysterical. And the second half's not bad or anything, but it suffers because it's so lopsided. Because the first half made me fucking laugh so fucking hard to where just the okayness of the second half suffered. Like, well, I'm not laughing as much as I was. It just stops dead in the tracks. And it's okay. But I wish they would just, if the same amount of fucking hilarious bits were somehow dispersed throughout the 90 minutes evenly, it'd be a lot better. But yeah, I don't hate that movie. I don't. Did you ever see Hall Pass?
Nope.
Yeah. I tried watching it one time. It's got Owen Wilson or whatever his name is. And Ed Helms, I think, is the other guy in that. No, it's Jason Sudeikis. And I don't remember anything about it.
Luke Wilson is the better Wilson.
What happened to Owen Wilson, by the way? So why is he not working anymore? He tried killing himself. Last thing he did he tried killing himself and he got committed, for mental health. And ever since then, he hasn't really been in anything.
Maybe he was he didn't really try to kill himself. Maybe he was trying to I'm going to take on a really serious role. And he wanted to get thrown into a mental hospital to learn from the role. And now he's working on that movie. It's going to blow our minds.
The first thing that I think came out after all that stuff and that whole stint was Zoolander 2, and that tanked.
Yeah.
Which, you know what? I kind of thought Zoolander 1 was funny back in the day, but that's just something I've aged out of. I don't really find it funny anymore. I'm over that humor.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm kind of over Ben Stiller humor more because that movie just reeks of Ben Stiller. Actually, it's more like a Will Ferrell movie with Ben Stiller in it. I mean, Will Ferrell's in it, but it's like every Will Ferrell movie where it's just, it's so try hard, so slapsticky. I don't know. I still don't like Will Ferrell.
Oh, Will Ferrell's amazing.
I saw 2 Will Ferrell movies in the theater and I wanted to slip my wrist for both of them. The first one was Semi-Pro. Fuck, terrible movie. And the other one I saw was Blades of Glory. Fuck, with John Heater, Napoleon Dynamite.
John Heater, he's fucking sexy. I would fuck him.
Now, where's that guy? Didn't that guy... He's a guy that just sort of tanked and went out of nowhere, but I think I heard a news bit not that long ago that he got a job, maybe like on a TV show, and I think it was kind of out of character for him. But I'm going to look it up because
They made an animated series for fucking Napoleon Dynamite, I remember.
Yeah, I know, and that tanked. He was in The Benchwarmers. That's a movie I was excited to see because I thought The Benchwarmers looked funny, and they had success. Happy Madison had already put out Grandma's Boy, so it's like, oh wow, they made a funny movie, and Adam Sandler didn't have to be in it. I'm like, maybe this will be funny. Mm-hmm. Because Adam Sandler was really dog shit at the time, and then I saw that, and all the funny bits were in the trailer, and it was yeah, it's one of those fucking movies. What is it here? Monster House.
We're missing a great film.
Are we really? He's not. Is he even holding a gun right? I don't think that's how you hold a gun.
I want to look up who recommended this movie because I don't remember, and we need to shame him. Hashtag cancel him.
Oh, that's the movie. It's a movie. John Heater is currently filming the latest Tremors sequel, Tremors Island Fury. Tremors Island Fury with Michael Gross, John Heater, How You Have Fallen.
Are they playing Metallica right now?
Wait. No. They don't just give their fucking music to anything.
They might as well.
No, they were pretty sticklers about licensing their music out to anything for a while there. And then I saw that movie that was really fucking overrated. What's Zombieland? And the whole intro is For Whom the Bell Tolls. And that's the best part of the movie. I'm like, yeah, this movie peaked. I didn't see that sequel, by the way. It just didn't do anything for me.
I haven't seen it either.
Did you see the first one?
I did. On my birthday, I think.
I didn't think it was very funny. Even the Bill Murray stuff wasn't that funny to me. I'm like, it's just all missing. So, this whole thing feels like I'm playing Resident Evil Outbreak. No, not Outbreak. What's the multiplayer one that was on PS3 that everybody hated?
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Mercenaries or something. Or Resident. The one that was trying to be like Call of Duty, where it was just co-op, and it had the really ridiculous what's it called? AI that would just like literally go in circles. Like, what the fuck are you guys doing? It was all fucked up.
Oh,
that's really warm.
I filled the cup.
That's good.
I had to stop. Good thing I have another one. Oh. This is riveting content we're putting out. You hear my wiener hitting the cup?
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
Oh, that's amazing.
Right now, somewhere, someplace, Adrian Mendoza is getting a hard on.
Hell yeah. No. That's what I live for. Can you imagine Adrian Mendoza fucking you with this huge 13-inch cock?
I can't say I've thought about it.
I dream of it.
You don't even know what it looks like. What are you dreaming of?
I imagine a guy can dream. Oh, look, all the shit is hitting the fan. This movie's amazing.
Yeah, it does feel like it should be at the end. Like, this is a lot of action, shitty action, so it feels like it's a big climax. But we got 46 minutes left? How?
Yeah.
How? This is terrible.
My guy's gonna be there, and we're gonna probably cut this into 2 sessions because the guy's gonna be there a little early.
What?
We'll do like 10 more minutes of the movie, and then we'll abruptly just all of a sudden be a day later or something. It's all good. See, it's good that we don't gotta suffer this in one sitting.
So it's an orientation you're going to, right? That what you said? So
it's my first day on the job.
So he's training or whatever. So the guy's just going to show up early, the guy that's showing you the ropes?
Yeah, this guy, he might be a stoner or something. Like some guy called me. He's like, "Oh yeah, this guy's gonna call and tell you like when your first day is on Friday." And then like the day came and went, and I was like, "Oh yeah, he never called me." He's like, "Oh, he didn't? Okay, I'll have him call you today at noon." And then I get a text message saying, "Hey, I'm the guy. I'm gonna call you at noon." And then at 4:00 p.m. he called me, and he was like, "Hey, yeah, I'll be there." 8 o'clock, and I'll send you a message around 7:30, let you know if everything's going according to plan. Then 6:30 happens, and he sent me a message saying, "Hey, I'll be there at 7:30."
So why can't he fucking wait for you? Like, bitch, man, I got a life. What are you fucking doing to me?
I need the money.
I don't blame you. No, do it, but this guy sounds like a fuckhead, man.
This is the kind of guy I want to work for. See, this is why I was so happy that they were legalizing the weeds. I was like, oh yeah, I got to get a job at a dispensary because that's going to be stoner hours, man. Like, oh yeah, show up at the crack of noon, dude.
It sounds like you're working for Tommy Chong Leo on 70 Show.
Hell yes.
You know what I'm talking about, the reference?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's that you got. Is he your boss or is he just showing you the ropes?
He's just training me.
Yeah. Well,
and it's basically just gonna be like, yeah, you do this and you do that, dude, and then like, you sit down and have a big fucking toke or something. Get that dank shit.
I think the only time in BTM history that we've ever split a commentary in two is when we did like the director's cut of Alien 3 and it was ungodly long, and we just done the theatrical cut. Like, we gotta like space this out because this is just.
We've done it more than that.
Have we?
I think so.
I don't think so. Anyway, I'm thinking it was because the movie was just ridiculously long. And it's funny that we have to do it for a movie that's only 90 minutes, but it's that terrible. I want to play it. We should play it off. I mean, you guys can all hear us right now, obviously, but I'd like to think, I know Zach has a job to go to, so it's going to be spliced, but I'd like to think it's because this movie's that fucking terrible. We can't get through 90 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's hard enough to get through 45.
Hell yeah.
But I'm fine with it.
OGC Idle Hands is getting a Blu-ray release from Scream Factory, baby.
I did see that. Good for you. I'm happy for you.
I was going to be donk.
Wouldn't it be funny if the second half of this podcast, we started recording it, but since we ended the first half and started the second half, your balls dropped like Eddie Furlong in T2, so we have to go back and overdub the first half so it doesn't sound weird?
That'd be fucking great if my balls finally dropped.
And it's only going to look weird. Right? I mean, It's a good thing it's not a video podcast. By the way, we gotta set up a time. Let's do a stream real soon, man. Like, what day is gonna work for you?
Oh no.
So we need to I want to get back in the rhythm of recording our podcast early in the week, right? Monday or Tuesday or something for the next week. And then I don't know if Mac's down. I mean, I'd like to be able to do a stream Friday nights, man. Mac's all about it, and I think it'd be good. I think we need to experiment. We were doing Twitch stuff here and there. We need to experiment doing all of them. We need to try, like Mac was saying, I think, do a Facebook thing. We should do a YouTube. We can stream. We have the ability. We have enough followers. We meet the criteria to be able to stream on YouTube. I think Josh James would kill to be able to do that, right? He's working towards that, and we have these features that we're taking for granted. We should try it,
Hell yeah.
I think we should. And I also had a great epiphany. I'm like, we got to do more promoting. Because, we've got a nice family growing here, and we've done it all with no promotion. I think if we start doing it guerrilla style, like the way we do it back in the old days with Exploited Cinema, where, similar level podcasts would share each other's promos, and it was just like a favor, scratch my back, scratch yours. I'd do that. I think we need to put together a pretty cool trailer, a cool commercial with us obviously adding some new content, pitching the fucking show, but splice in some greatest hits clips to really rope in the people that have never heard of us, because if there's a break in your favorite podcast, if you were listening to the Goats podcast or whatever, and all of a sudden it braked and it was our trailer and it was like, hey, what's up? We're totally radical. Come check out our fucking show. You get stuff like this. And then it shows the clip of like you talking about you witnessing incest in the back of a pickup truck, and it ends with me laughing like a radio talk show host. And then it just, segs into something else with me, blowing shit shotgun blasts over the walls.
Hell yeah.
And don't forget classic moments like this, I think it'd be cool, but it's got to be the heavy hitting moments where it's like, this is going to make someone take a break and search our name and subscribe.
And get unrealistic expectations of the show.
Hey, whatever. whatever we got to do, man. So yeah, we're basically that movie. What was I just talking about? We're the Benchwarmers. We're the best shits in the trailer.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. But you got to hit them hard, man. You got to hit them hard. Anyway.
In the dick.
I think if we do enough of that, and I think we have enough of those moments, and I've said it from the beginning, when Todd and I, we did it for a long time, but when Zach came on the first year or whatever, I could probably easily have picked out, okay, these are our best episodes, but somewhere in the last few years, we've gotten pretty consistent where we got a lot of really good episodes. And we're fairly consistent. So I don't think we'd be letting anybody down with a trailer. I think about the first time I heard you tell me that story, and I was enamored. I was hanging on every word.
It was amazing. I
forgot I was recording a podcast. So I think it's stuff like that. It's stories like that we got to put little teasers in. Not give away the fucking goat, right? But not the cow, just a little bit to get you in there.
Hell yeah.
And so I think we need to be reaching out to people like GOAT and all these other podcasts and see if we can do that thing. And I wouldn't even be opposed to at least flirting with the idea of buying ad time on slightly bigger shows, right? That can command a little bit of money for their ad time to put our commercials in there. Because I listen to a lot of podcasts, and I've listened to a lot of podcasts that have pretty good fan bases, and they all say the same thing. Like, it all changed. Like, when I was able to go on this guy's show, it's just been an upward trajectory since then. You know what I mean? It's all about getting on one show with a certain fan base that's going to be similar enough to where they're really going to latch onto it in a good way and they're going to stick. So I think that's all about it. I think we should put together a trailer, and I think you and I should make a conscious effort to go on other people's show. I mean, I know you do it more than I do, but I'll do it too. We should try and reach out and mingle with some other podcasts and try and do it once every couple of months. I'd like to do it once a month. I think it's cool. GOAT wants to come on our show.
Hell yeah.
When you said in March he wants to do, what flick is he gonna do? Extro. That's right, man. Didn't I flirt with the idea of doing Extro as a cinema enema?
I don't think so.
We'll do it as a commentary. I remember watching Extro when I was a little kid. I rented it from the Florida at the public library where I lived, Fort Myers area, Naples. And at the time, I'm like, oh man, this is pretty trippy. But as I got older, I'm like, I think I realized it to be a gritty R-rated ET knockoff.
Hell yeah.
But and I think it moves a little slow, but I'd love to watch it again. I'd like to own it. I don't know who put that out. Somebody put it out. It wasn't one of the biggies. But some Blu-ray. I think it's the same people that put out fucking The Changeling. What's that company? The Blu-ray? I don't know.
I don't remember. But we'll be right back after these messages.
Whoa. It totally hasn't been 2 days since we recorded last.
It hasn't been.
There's been no lapse in time at all. We were able to sit through this whole movie without stopping.
This is a great movie.
Not really. This is absolutely terrible. I don't even remember. So no, truth be told, there has been a lapse in time, and I don't remember where we left off. I don't remember what part we're at. I don't know what's going on. I see Steven Dorff here with Christian Slater, and I'm instantly confused on who's who.
Who cares? We weren't watching it before we stopped.
Yeah, what were we talking about? We probably should have reviewed that, shouldn't we? That's the thing about these shitty movies. I think we got to start rethinking on these request exploitations. Oh man, but this one's been in here for so long that we felt like we had to do it. But anyway, what you doing, man? So are we gonna just play it off like there has been no lapse in time, or can I just riff with you and be like, hey man, how you doing? Because I haven't talked to you in a couple days, and your energy seems a little low.
Why would we play it off? Why would we play it off? They already fucking know. We just made it completely obvious.
So all right, so we're gonna yet again kind of do the whole how you doing, where you been. But Zach, you seem a little low energy today. Are you all right? We're recording much later than we normally do, and on a day we don't normally record.
I'm always fucking high energy. You're low energy, bitch. You're fucking low energy, Jeb Bush over here.
So if you guys could, rewind 2 minutes, we had to cut it because Zach had to go to a new job training or something. So this is now 2 days later. How did the job training go?
Well, fucking shitty.
Why?
I was completely wrong about how much it pays, by the way.
What?
I was fucking wrong. I fucking heard him wrong or something. It's only 12. 30 something an hour.
Oh, and you thought it was like 30, 12? Damn.
Something like that.
Damn, dude. Are you going to keep it?
Fuck, I guess. I'll get something better.
Yeah, and it's only 1 hour a night?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that fucking blows, dude. Sorry.
Yeah, it is. You should blow me to make up for it.
So, at what did you just hear him casually say it and you thought to yourself, fuck, I was wrong? Or did he see you visibly upset? Like, whoa, well, that's not what I thought at all.
It was a different guy, so it's different. And you never notice.
Well, I'm sorry, man.
What the fuck are you sorry for?
Because I'm being empathetic, man. You know what? And hey, so don't take my apologies. If everybody out there is sorry for Zach, buy a t-shirt.
Sure, buy a fucking t-shirt.
Buy some Mac and Zach t-shirts.
Buy every shirt.
Every shirt. Buy the whole thing.
Fuck yeah. Buy BTM revivalhouse.com from us too. And you could do the show and we'll retire.
See, I can't wait to listen to the podcast to see if there's a noticeable difference in how dark you are. Like instantly.
Don't be fucking racist.
Hey, 2 days later, as of this recording, I think like 20 minutes ago, the Chiefs won the Super Bowl. Not that I care about that, but I'm from Missouri and, you know, the entire state is blowing up over there. So I'm happy for my friends, I guess.
Dude, people who watch that shit are stupid. I have no empathy for these people. They could all fucking just die in a car wreck. If you get excited when a fucking football team throws a ball and another guy catches it, fuck you.
Well, I mean, it's not all bad stuff for you, Zach. I mean,
it is all bad.
You've had good news lately. You've had new additions to your family, man. So I know it's been a good.
Here's the thing.
Good week. What's
I'm
up?
going to tell you the words to live by.
All right.
Life is a fucking burden, and hope is a curse. Get that through your fucking head. See, I'm not darker at all.
What did you do today, man? What was your day like? I want to know where it went wrong. I want to pinpoint it.
Jacked off.
Okay.
Watched Tremors. Jacked off again. I jacked off 3 times while watching Tremors.
Okay.
And that brings us up to speed. I woke up right before that.
Gotcha. It was a fairly lazy Sunday for me. I watched that Fighting with My Family Page movie.
Really?
Yeah, it's streaming on both Hulu and Prime. Because I had heard it was actually pretty good, right? But
I like the girl in it. I think she's really good. I like her. She's becoming one of my favorite actresses.
She's showing up in a lot of stuff. Isn't she? You said she's in Midsummer, right?
Midsummer.
Yeah. So you didn't like the movie, though?
It was okay.
Yeah, I thought it was okay. I thought it was a 7, I guess. It was good enough.
Paige is a 7 at least.
I mean, she's a bit of a dog face, but
oh fuck you.
She's okay. But that was her whole story.
Why are you so dark all of a sudden? So fucking low energy.
You know, how about them shoehorning The Rock in there though? Like clearly that didn't happen. Like that wasn't part of her journey.
I like to shoehorn my cock into The Rock.
Okay.
I think he'd take it like a fucking champ. Give me the people's elbow, yeah.
I want to give anyway, I thought that was all right. I also watched Throw Mama from the Train. I had never watched that. Danny DeVito.
I love that movie. It's so fucking dumb, but I love it. I don't know why.
It's a great black comedy, man. And I liked it a lot. I enjoyed it. Dude, every time Mama opened her mouth, I was dying laughing. Just the way she sounds so ridiculous.
She's fucking amazing. You ever see Deadly Friend?
No.
Oh, you gotta look up her death scene in Deadly Friend. It's amazing. Fucking Buffy the Vampire Slayer throws a fucking basketball at her head and it just fucking explodes. It's amazing.
Yeah, it was a good flick. I liked it.
You will come fucking bullets.
So, we have a tradition here on BTM. When a movie is really shitty, we usually start reading questions a good 25 minutes out to kind of burn that last time because we don't know what to fucking talk about. I don't know what's going on. Look, I see a helicopter falling down, right? I see a bunch of guys that look like Spec Ops. I don't know what I guess they're like aliens and it's like Michael Biehn and it's a ripoff. I see a tremor right there going through the ground. Speaking of tremors.
Yeah, we could talk about my new niece. We fucking might as well. I got a new niece.
I mentioned you had a new addition to the family, so you've had a good week, despite anything unfortunate. How's that going for you?
It's cool. It's
Is she dank AF?
It's pretty donk.
That's cool, man. So, your other niece is going to be happy to be a big sister. She's probably already excited.
And my nephew.
Oh, and your nephew. Well, you never talk about your nephew to me, man. I always just hear about the girl.
I never talk about either of them on the show. You can't know. You can't know anything about my real life. You can't know me. I am an enigma. I am unknowable. But go ahead.
Anyway, we're about 25 minutes out, so I feel like we should read some questions because this movie's just going to keep doing its thing, whatever that thing is. It's pretty shitty. We're going to go. Our last commentary was the Rush Hour 2, which, by the way, Brett Ratner, that motherfucker, liked our podcast. I tried asking him a question. He didn't reach out to me, but he liked our post about the podcast, not even knowing that we kind of criticized him on it. So
he knows me. I was fucking on the couch with him.
Yeah, so you guys should hit him up. We should all see if we can spam him and be like, "Hey, you need to respond to these guys." I'd have him on the show. I'd ask him. Every time, like when we watch Rush Hour 2, I'd be like, "Hey, that hot Latina chick, did you make her, suck your dick?"
He didn't get nothing. I took all of it. He get my sloppy seconds.
All right, so Rush Hour 2 commentary. Ishmael Permu. He says, "You guys fucking did it. All right, BTM delivers the goods." Thanks. I can't remember. Did you request that one? Or he might have requested it, and that's what he's kind of referring to. But hell yeah, we did it. Ishmael Permu also says, "For all your sacrifices and hard work, I greatly appreciate the content put out here." Well, thank you. We were having a bit of a Golden Girls diva moment on that last episode. We were talking about how the older we get, the more time is more precious to us, and it gets hard to sort of carve out time to do these and to make time in the schedule. And we still do them, so it does take work, and that's why we appreciate all the comments, all you guys that are coming week after week and leaving messages for us. That makes it worth it. Anybody that's ever bought a shirt from our Teespring, we appreciate that. Just anybody that's watched the videos or shared the videos is awesome. So that's going to help keep us making that time out to do these. So
anybody who's ever jacked off while listening to the show,
dude, I would not be surprised if there's been some beans flicked to the sounds of our voices.
Oh yeah.
I've had a couple of people, man, reach out. I've had a couple of people like, "Oh man, I've taken care of myself a time or two to the sound of your voice, guys."
I would come.
Billy the Kid Lawrence. We haven't seen you.
Those muzzle flashes are fucking shit. I had to point that out.
Dude, this whole movie looks terrible.
Oh yeah, which reminds me, I looked up some stuff on YouTube about this, and the movie doesn't really look this shitty. This is just the copy we got. So all that time we were talking about how like, oh yeah, look how fucking weird and choppy the action scene. They don't know what we're talking about, but it's okay because they're not watching it anyway.
Is this like a work print or something?
I don't know.
Because I mean, I can kind of look through the shittiness of the lo-fi YouTube looking video and still tell the movie looks terrible. Like I saw that tremor going through the dirt; it looked terrible.
Oh yeah.
All right, Billy the Kid Lawrence. I think it's been a hot minute, man, since I've read a comment from you, man. So it's a good thing to see you back. Billy Kid Lawrence says these are all Rush Hour 2. He says, "I hope you can read this comment on an episode of The Deep End. Oh, because it's been difficult for me to keep up lately." Oh, he wants me to read it on a Deep End. Well, why'd you put it on Rush Hour 2? Well, I'm still going to read it. I'm going to read it on both. How about that? He says, "Anyways, hey guys, I apologize that yet again I've been gone for so long. I had a really rough 2019 doing everything I could think of to try and help my mom in her fight with cancer." Oh, dang. She unfortunately passed away 4 days before Christmas, and it was the worst day of my life. Okay, I'm going to stop for a second. This is a really long message. And now I understand why you wanted us to read it on Deep End. So I kind of feel bad. Is it a bad thing that I went ahead and read it on this one?
Yeah, you're a fucking asshole.
Well, no, it's a heavy stuff. No, I'll switch hats here.
You should feel terrible. You should feel bad about yourself, Aaron.
So before I go further, I want to say sorry about your mom, man. That's tough. Zach and I have both dealt with that kind of loss, and it's real rough. 4 days before Christmas, too. I mean, not that it's going to make next Christmas any easier. It's just a really, really unfortunate thing, and it kind of puts a black cloud over everything. So, I mean, we definitely understand it. He says, I was out of state in Ohio when I found out she was in the hospital again. By the time I got there, she was awake, but not speaking, with her eyes closed, only making noises. The doctors said she could hear everything. I held her hand for 3 hours until her breathing slowed down on about 1 chest pump every 30 seconds. I watched the color slowly fade from her face as she passed, and the nurse confirmed it. I was a wreck for a good while, and I'm still not over it, but I'm doing a lot better than I was. I've never lost anyone this extremely close to me before, and I never thought it would be my mom to go first at the age of 44. Another good friend of mine passed away 10 days after her on New Year's Eve. Suffice to say, it's been rough. Fuck cancer. Hold on to your loved ones, guys. Cherish every moment. Despite the hardships, I'm looking forward to relieving some stress with commentaries from you guys. I hope to hear a new episode of The Deep End sometime soon. Much love, respect, and support always to you guys, my fellas. Hope your 2020 is going great. Well, shit. Dude, that sucks, man. I'm sorry to hear about that. And I mean, we're not even going to try and make it about ourselves or whatever, but we can relate. You know, my dad was 45 when he passed away, and the story, you know, with you being there with them when they went, very, very, very similar to my story. So all we can say is
R.I.P.
Yeah, we're sorry about it, man. And we'll do our best to keep pumping out commentaries, because that's all we can do, I guess. I think all people can do is keep on doing what they do and be there for people while people heal and move forward. I mean, obviously we can't change life. We can't change the bad parts about life and all that stuff. So
this episode is dedicated to Mama the Kid.
Mama the Kid. We're dedicating this episode to Mama the Kid. Dude, that's awesome. No, 100%.
She dank AF.
So, and it makes us proud if you listen to something like us on our shows, and that can sort of, I don't know, help you out or even just entertain you, even if it's, you know, whatever, shallow listen. If it entertains you for an hour while you're on a commute or something like that, that means a lot of stuff, man. I mean, the thing is when people pass, or not even when people pass away, when you're just going through a real rough patch in your life, the rest of life in the world doesn't stop. You still have to go to work. You still have to pull yourself out of bed and sometimes commute an hour to your job. And it just makes those necessary daily activities a little bit more of a grind. So I know for me, if I'm going through something like that and I still have to get myself out of bed, it feels good to pop on a podcast that I listen to every week, or a familiar record that I, you know, is tried and true and makes me feel good, to comfort me while I'm doing that commute, while I'm having to go through that stuff. Just to kind of bring a little bit of a normal aspect to my day, right?
You gots to, too. You got, like, I remember, like, when I get really fucking bummed, like, I go through parts where it's like, oh, man, I don't even want to do shit that I like doing. But you got to get back to doing it. Otherwise, you'll get worse.
But there's something about it. Like, if I listen to, you know, if you listen to this podcast every single Wednesday when it goes up, or you listen to that podcast or this, if you have a certain routine that, you know, represents a normal part of your life, or I don't know, if you've been listening to AC/DC Back in Black ever since you were 2 years old or whatever, you can always pop in Back in Black no matter where you're at in your life. And it could, for an hour, you know, make that commute a little easier and take you back to a billion other times in your life that were a little simpler when you were listening to Back in Black, or, you know, when you were listening to whatever new episode of whatever podcast. You know what I'm trying to say? Mm-hmm. So I guess that's what we can do.
And yeah, like every once in a while you'll hear something, you'll be listening to something, and you'll forget for a second, you'll laugh, and then you'll feel like shit because you laughed. Yeah, don't do that. Fuck that shit. You be happy, baby. Anything that makes you forget. It's good shit.
So what Zach and I can say is thank you so much for supporting our channel and listening to us. But, you know, vice versa, man, we're happy to be there. And it means a lot to us that, you know, we can do that. For anybody that listens to us on a commute, just to forget something for an hour, hour and a half, that's all we want to do. And what we can do is continue to do that for you, Billy the Kid, in honor of Mama the Kid, Lawrence, as Zach referred to her as, and everybody else out there listening. So I don't know. That really hits me right in the feels, man. It's a somber thing to get a comment like this, but at the same time, it's a real eye opener as well.
You accuse me of fucking being dark and bringing down the mood, and then you go and do it with that comment.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Gotta make a joke out of it, otherwise, fucking, it feels too real.
Well, you know what I'm trying to say. And you know what? We can even, I'll even talk about this more when I want to do another deep end, and it's been way too long. Every time I do one, I keep making a new commitment that, all right, I'm going to start doing these more on a regular basis. And it's exactly what we were talking about in the last couple of weeks. We do this one once a week, and that one does not stray. Like we stay on it, and we do other stuff. And we've been good about Cinema Anima too, like on a monthly basis, sans the last couple of months from the holidays. And there's only so much time, but I really, really want to commit. I really want to try and do a deep end more regularly. So I want to do one here soon. And I can talk about more on this type of topic when I do that as well. But I think you're really pushing me to get that done. But regardless, you're pushing Zach and I to keep doing what we do, because I think that's all we can do. You know, it's like when people are upset and they want someone to listen to them. They're not expecting that person listening to them to give them an answer or a solution. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's not like the person you're talking to can magically make all the pain and suffering go away. That's not the way it works. But that other person can just be there. And so Zach and I will just be here, and we'll keep doing what we do. But keep sending us messages, man. We do love you. We appreciate the listenership. And we're going to pour one out for Mom of the Kid. I'm pouring one out right now. I'm going to pour my tangerine mango sparkling clear American. See? Wait, let me see.
I got a drink too. Let's do it.
Well, hold on. You're going to hear it? Wait. Oh, did you hear that?
Hell yeah.
Shh. Okay, I'm pouring it out. Okay, I poured a little bit on my computer desk.
To Mom of the Kid.
To Mom of the Kid.
Clank.
Oh, clank. All right, man. Stay strong, brother. Going forward on Rush Hour 2 commentary, Mutineer left a couple of comments. They said, Horophilia has gone too far this time to war. He is, of course, referring to the fact that, I don't know, is he referring when we were talking about how the Hard to Kill podcast going to Horophilia? Yeah, man, it sucks. No dissing Horophilia at all. I just think their platform's cluttered. I mean, I don't think they give the due diligence to their shows. You know what I mean? I just, you know what I'm talking? Have you been on, like, have you sifted through their channel and stuff on Apple Podcasts, Zach? You know what I'm talking about?
Never through their full one, just random shows.
Yeah, they strip the identities from their shows and they make them real hard to find. And I don't know, if it was us, it's fine, whatever. Have your branding in the front, Horophilia, whatever, then the type. But at least give them their own thumbnails and stuff like that. Make them more identifiable. Do one or the other. Or have their titles up front or something. It's just,
I don't even think you can have different thumbnails on iTunes, at least.
Yeah. I don't know. But whatever. Best of luck to them. We still want to replace it, though, man. And I'm still serious. If anybody out there has any interest in podcasting that wants to maybe try and do an action-centric podcast for our network, they can reach out to us at the Gmail, revivalhousenetwork@gmail.com. Really, you don't have to be a pro. You don't even have to be super experienced or anything. I mean, as long as you have adequate equipment, we'll give you a shot and we'll see what you're all about. And by adequate, I mean a $70, $80, $90 Blue Yeti USB mic goes a long way. It doesn't take much, right? Mm-hmm. Just not a fucking lapel mic. Like a $15 lapel mic. Just anything but that and not your phone.
Oh, lapel's the greatest brand.
Yeah. But yeah, so Horophilia, but we want to replace it. And that goes for any other type of show, by the way. If you guys have a pitch for a different type of podcast, dude, blow up that email and we'll respond to you promptly. And, you know, we'll chat it out and see what there is to be done about it. Because we would love to keep growing and we love to build the family. So Mutineer also says, just to clarify, I wasn't complaining about the old porn stories on that last episode. It was thoroughly enjoyable. Ah, yes. High Society, one of Gramps' favorites.
Oh, yeah.
No, thanks, Mutineer, dude. Thanks for all your listenership and your continued support. And yeah, hopefully there's more old sleazy, old porn mag in the woods stories we can tell you. Hopefully we haven't burned through all of them.
We need to do a Mac and Zach and make if Aaron come on and force him to watch a porno with us.
No, I'm all right.
We're gonna fucking Clockwork Orange's eyes open and shit.
Thomas Rowan commented on Problem Child 3 Junior in Love. I just want to say thank you for giving that one some love. I don't think anybody gives a shit about Problem Child 3 Junior in Love. Thomas Rowan says, why is this a thing? Oh, wait, the home video label is desperate.
Oh, yeah.
True. They absolutely were, man. I've never understood why networks were... I get it. Ad space. They want to fill the time slots with something. Like, we need something to fill up that 3 a.m. time slot so we can get some kind of shitty, like, 1-800 call girl advertisement money. So, yeah, you can make a Junior in Love sequel. We'll fund it.
They should have made him, like, they should have made him a teenager. They should have had Junior get fucked. Junior Gets Fucked would have been a better title.
It certainly would. Well, thanks for giving that one love. And of course, if you
then his dad gets all pissed because he's still looking for a fucking lady. Like the next character his wife is playing, his real life wife is playing, and she ain't giving out. And he's like, "Oh man, why is my son Junior getting more pussy than I am?" That'd be donk.
Just be sure, Thomas Rowan, to check out the superior Problem Child commentaries that we've done. We did the first two, so appreciate you. Going forward, we have David Capper as well commenting on Rush Hour 2. He says...
Did you just roll your R?
I did, man. I've been listening to a lot of old school Judas Priest records, and Rob Halford would do that back in the day. Screaming! Scream of vengeance!
You ever had a Rob Halford do that on your cock?
No. I met him, though. He propositioned me.
That'd be dog.
No, he didn't, but he was a nice guy.
I would have taken him up on the offer.
Capper, the sex magician himself, he says, great session, and what a thumbnail screen grab. Both you guys were at a really great cruising altitude, the whole commentary, a very comfortable listen. Uncle Capper's Story Corner, the Chan chapter, he says. Rumble in the Bronx was filmed here in my small fishing village of Vancouver, British Columbia. I don't think the Bronx is a mountain range neighboring an inlet as seen in the hovercraft sequence, he says. Speaking of that hovercraft scene, filming for the Bronx took place in 94 or 95 while I was in my senior year of high school. One night, my buddies and I were driving around East Vancouver, the quote, bad end of town, smoking weed, crashing parties, and general troublemaking.
Fuck yes. Younger Capper sounds dank. I want to party with the Kappa feel.
Capper. We were driving up Clark Drive, a major trucking artery from the Fraser River, leading directly to Burrard Inlet, and had slowed to a crawl to talk to, lurk on, #MeToo, a few girls from school. When out of nowhere, where this huge rumbling began to grow, everyone stopped. The sound grew and was accompanied by incredible bright lights cresting over the hill in front of us. Within seconds, worries of an alien invasion began to stir in the back seat. A hovercraft going full tilt boogie, covered in crew members hanging off the sides, floating over the hill, and sped towards us. Everyone's jaws were on the floor of the Ford Taurus, and the hovercraft's pilot peered out of the cockpit. Pause for Zach's innuendo, he says.
I just thought of that scene from Beats About to Do America, where he's like, get out of the cockpit.
Okay. He's like, at us, and gave us a salute. Jesse, our resident stoner friend, simply stated, I think is what it's supposed to say, what the fuck? And then looked at the joint in his hand. I like to think that he never smoked again. Dude, what the fuck?
I wouldn't like to think that. That's a bummer.
So it was like The Bride of Chucky? Rude fucking doll.
Oh, look, did you see that ending? Somebody watched Evil Dead.
I didn't see it. What was it?
The camera just ran at the fucking actors and then it went black.
Yeah, that's really stupid.
And some shitty song started playing.
That's really stupid. I'm glad I missed it. Anyway, he finishes up by saying, the next time I saw that hovercraft was in the aforementioned cinematic Chan Classic. Guess they were transporting the craft from the Coast Guard station overland to the inlet with our beautiful Rockies in the background for filming the scene with Jackie. Finn. Dude, that's awesome, dude. You never disappoint with the stories. I didn't know British Columbia, Vancouver was such a hotbed, man. You got all these fucking awesome movie stories.
Oh, yeah.
Are you positive? Maybe it was an alien ship. Maybe it was an alien ship designed to look like the hovercraft that you would soon see in Rumble in the Bronx, and it was all an illusion.
Hell yeah.
It's like on Ghostbusters 2, right? I can't be too sure if you had a room at the Holiday Inn Paramus or if it was a spaceship made to look like a Holiday Inn room.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But I'm still excited, man. We're gonna do, as soon as we're done doing the requests, I think we're gonna do the bioexploitation, and I want to hear more about your Isai Morales. So I'm dying to hear about that. But dude, you never disappoint. You always. How come David Capper doesn't have a podcast?
Yeah, he should. He should do the fucking action. We should fucking challenge him to a podcast off, and he should do the action one. But I was just thinking, Is this fucking bioexploitation? Is this like I just put it together in my mind. Is it biological horror or is it like biopic?
Biopic is what he means.
Fuck
That's why
me. We're gonna have to push it off because I thought bio horror. That's why I scheduled the extra commentary.
Oh, well, okay. Well, no. So Zach fucked up, Capper. It's okay. It happens.
Or we could just be like, hey, it is bio horror. We're throwing a curveball at you.
This is the E.T. bio movie, biopic.
Oh
This
yeah.
is what this is the way it really was in real life. Extra. No. So what we'll do is, because what Zach's referring to is we got Goat coming on from say it again, Zach. No.
Fucking,
Graveyard.
yeah.
It is really fucking late, guys. Anyway, Goat's coming on. He's a rad dude. We're excited to have him on. By the way, Zach and I want to do a lot more cross mingling than we have in the last couple of years. Go on other people's shows, bring some people on, create more of a buzz and just make some new friends. But we're gonna have Goat coming on, and Zach, I guess, thinking we were gonna do bio horrors and bio life and all that bullshit.
Yeah, at first I was like, hey, yeah, Goat, we'd love to have you on. We're doing biological horror. You was thinking, would you like to do The Thing, John Carpenter's, or maybe Extra? And he's like, yeah, Extra would be my cup of tea. I love The Thing, though, but Extra's more fucked up.
It's funny how Extra is both the stronger and the lamer choice at the same time. Like, there's something about it. I mean, it's The Thing. The Thing's a better movie, but
how dare you?
But Extra's awesome, man. I mean, I love the fact that we're gonna do that. So okay, so that's where that comes from, and I think he said he was gonna record with us in March. Yeah, I don't know. Well, we'll figure it out. Maybe that'll be like a palate cleanser in between, something like that. But we'll figure it out. But we're gonna get to it, I promise. Thanks, dude. You're always the greatest. And by the way, man, if you ever want to put your stories to podcast form, dude, fucking you should.
He's that star up in the sky.
He's fucking let us know.
Way up high. Yeah, he made it. He's the world's greatest.
All right. William Lowry, Rush Hour 2 commentary. He says, Aaron, you thought Life Force was okay? Sir, I'm going to need to see some license and registration. I love Life Force for how bonkers and unpredictable it is, and it's probably my favorite Toby Hooper flick that isn't the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Toby Hookah.
Also, I don't know why I just thought about when you said hookah. Now, you like roll your neck like it's a well-cooked piece of asparagus. Like that on The Simpsons. Anyway, also, it's ironic that Dan O'Bannon co-wrote Life Force's script, as Toby Hooper was originally supposed to direct Return of the Living Dead, but dropped out of the project when he was offered Life Force by Canon Films. And truth be told,
you made the wrong decision.
And truth be told, I'm glad he did Life Force because in turn, Return of the Living Dead was brilliantly written, directed by O'Bannon. So it all worked out in my eyes, at least. He says, you know what? Add this to the exploitation list, but Dan O'Bannon exploitation. I mean,
Bannon.
What would we do for Dan O'Bannon exploitation? Life Force, Alien, Return of the Living Dead. What am I missing?
Fucking.
There's got to be another good
Buried. One. He did. Fucking.
It would be a strong month. We've never really done a exploitation dedicated to a guy that wasn't dedicated to anything. Like Dan O'Bannon is not a known director, because Alien he wrote. I think he's he's more known screenwriter than he is directing.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. We'd have a solid month of ace material, that's for sure. So it's an idea. Let me see what we got here. And Adrian Mendoza. We're going to end off with a couple of comments by you, sir. On Rush Hour 2, you said, thanks, Aaron and Zach. I appreciate the time and effort you guys put into this channel. Again, I'm sorry for the bitching last week. I feel terrible that you guys went out of your way to try to figure out what I was complaining about. This channel has helped me through some hard times in my life. Thanks, guys, for everything you do. Man, I'm going to have to break out the Kleenex again.
Oh, yeah.
You motherfucker. No, so once again, it wasn't bitching. You were addressing something, and I'm glad you did, because we didn't know. We want to know what's going on. We can't monitor everything, and if you have a comment that wasn't going somewhere, or wasn't getting posted, it very well could have been an issue on our end. Like maybe we had something set up that was filtering comments, and if that was the case, we would have found it because you let us know. Obviously, it turned out to be, I think, a thing where Google suggested it might be spam. I don't know. And I don't know what triggers that. So no, don't ever apologize for addressing things and venting about stuff, because that's all good in the hood. Also, dude, we appreciate you, man. And like I said, it's piggybacking on the same stuff we were talking about before, about how it takes us time in our schedule to put these together. Especially Zach, God bless him, man. He does all the editing and stuff. His stuff shouldn't go unnoticed, of course. And of course, his brilliant thumbnails. So we appreciate it when you guys, listen, right? That's all we can expect, and we're stoked. And as far as you listening to us when times get tough, or, when even times are good and you just want to kill some time at work, that's what makes us keep doing it. 110%, man. So that's the kind of comments and just like Billy the Kid Lawrence, man, that gets me reinvigorated. Because sometimes you get a little burned out, man. Right, Zach?
Mm-hmm.
But when we get comments like that where people are saying such nice and sweet things, I'm like, fuck yeah, man, let's go record a marathon right now. So that's the fuel for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Adrian Mendoza, you've been a supporter for a very long time, and we don't forget it, man. And you've bought in shirts too, dude. I think you're rocking a couple Mac and Zach shirts or something.
Hell yeah.
So fuck yeah. I think you paid for Mac a ham sandwich. I think you bought a ham sandwich because of you.
Hell yeah.
So appreciate you, man. And lastly, we're going to leave off with a comment you posted for our Friday the 13th remake commentary that featured Josh James of the R-Rated Horror Channel. Adrian, you states, Josh and I have one thing in common. We both ventured out to buy porn. I was a young lad back in 2000. I had not yet discovered internet porn, nor had I known the touch of a man. I'm going to stop you for a second there. In 2000, was internet porn super prevalent? Like you had to spend all day and download some pictures from Sweden or something?
Hell yeah. It took fucking forever like you'd start downloading. I remember fucking people used to start downloading stuff. They'd get it. They fucking it'd take 3 days, and then they get far enough. There'd be enough of it downloaded. They start watching it. They'd be like, holy shit, this is like a chick with a dick. And then it'd be like, fucking, I got to restart all over because I'm not into this shit. Or they just go ahead and keep it. Like, I need something to jack off to.
What if you're downloading a picture and it's loading and it's barely past the tits, and you go to work and you come back and by the time it's finished, you see she has a dick?
Oh yeah.
Hey, so, but anyway, there definitely wasn't video streaming because YouTube didn't come out till 2004. So there was no Pornhubs and all that bullshit that ripped it off. Not that I'm endorsing that stuff, but yeah, I can't even imagine that kind of stuff in the year 2000. So, however, he says, I did find a store that sold magazines. Towards the back, they sold porno mags, and to my surprise, they had gay porn. I remember grabbing a magazine with a cover that intrigued me. It was of a guy with his shirt off, his ripped body oiled up, wearing tight blue jeans.
Fuck yes.
He says his jeans were partially unbuttoned, revealing a thicket. That's a good word. A thicket of pubic hair and large bulge aching to be set free. Man,
hell
dude,
yeah.
This guy, he's talking just like you, Zach.
Fuck yes.
He says, I handed the magazine to the guy behind the counter who was also the owner and operator, and I'm sure a Vietnam vet, and without any snide remarks or judgmental glares, rang up my purchase. I would return to that store many times for a couple of years. Oh, thanks for the story, man. So
I need to know that place.
Zach needs to know that place, and he needs to buy that Vietnamese guy a drink. Oh, sorry, not the Vietnamese guy, the Vietnam War vet. Yeah, dude, thanks for the story. And basically, I think the moral of that is no shame. No one's going to judge you, I guess, on what you do, right?
Fuck
I don't
yeah.
know. Or I guess no one has the right to judge. That guy was a Vietnam War vet, dude. He probably saw some worse shit in the war, in Nam, right? He probably saw a bunch of guys burning villages or something. Maybe it was like that movie Platoon.
Maybe they were burning villages while they were fucking running at you naked trying to fuck you first.
Yeah.
That's my kink.
Perhaps. But, dude, we appreciate the hell out of you, and we appreciate the hell out of all you guys. And kudos for you guys sticking with us while we watch this piece of shit movie. This wasn't one of our finest hours because, well, I wanted to eat a bullet the whole time.
I hope the guy that recommended this did it because he knew it was shitty and wanted to hear us suffer. Because if he was like, man, I want to hear their real opinions on this underlooked classic, we just shat all over his cereal.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying there's no Uwe Boll fans out there that maybe have a soft spot for these flicks, but
we didn't talk about the fact that he'll beat up people. He'll challenge people to boxing matches, like critics.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, people are like, oh yeah, I watched that Uwe Boll movie. I didn't like it. it sucked. He sucks at making movies. And then like he's like, I challenge you to boxing. And yeah, he's actually trained in boxing. So it's like, are we supposed to be impressed when you fucking beat the shit out of these people that had no idea how to box?
Well,
fucking retard.
Well, you know, and at the end of the day, maybe he is just a guy that's chasing $1 and making $1, and he's a big troll, and he's really not that bad of a guy. Because at the end of the day, he's making money. Someone's paying him constantly to make and turn out these shitty fucking fluff pieces. If he's cashing paychecks and he's living a healthy life, he's living his best life, dude, he might be in a better place than we are. You know what I mean? Like how can we fucking knock that, right?
Well, they stopped paying for it now, so now he's just retired.
Oh, he retired?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm sure he's got a nest egg then because of this. So, I mean, how much can I knock that guy from making $1? But anyway, guys, thank you guys so much. Continue doing what you're doing. Please listen, subscribe, like, share, our content. Get us around there. I don't know if you guys are on podcast services or YouTube. If you're on YouTube, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you get all the stuff we post when we post it. If you're only on YouTube, check the links at the bottom of the videos that will take you to podcast services. We're on all of them: Apple, Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher, etc. Follow us on all social medias. I'm not going to list them because we're on all of them, unfortunately. Fuck, man. Zach, you got to even get a TikTok. We got to get that 12-year-old demographic. It's not too, you're not too young to start getting on the BTM train. That sounded fucking bad.
Yeah, you are too young. We don't want you if you're too young.
Well, you know what? Actually, with the way Google shit is now, I guess we don't want younger audiences because then we'll get flagged and taken down.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I think, okay, Zach, so you got to get on TikTok and you got to groom them. So when they're freshly 18, they'll come over and listen to our show.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, you guys aren't old enough yet to witness this podcast magic, but, soon, count down the clock. But anyway, keep sharing us around. And even if you guys like us on YouTube or one or the other, go over to a place like the podcast services. Go to iTunes, go to Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, all that stuff. Leave us a rating, a nice word or two. That stuff is going to help us, grow in exposure and gain more listenership. And that, in a sense, is going to help Zach and I improve the show, do more of the show, and even just keep doing the show because, like I said, it gets a little tougher the older we get, but we love every second that we do of it. I think that's it. Once again, I'll plug if you guys want to reach out to us, Revival House Network at gmail.com. If you want to pitch some podcast ideas, if you want to make suggestions, or like I said, if you guys want to reach out to us about doing a podcast yourself and us kind of helping you out and teaming up, dude, hit us up. I think that's all we got. Teespring, if you guys want to support the channel, that's a great way to do it right now, besides listening, obviously. You guys can order a shirt. We got tons of designs on there from all the shows that are on the channel. That stuff goes a long way, man. And Teespring sends you out a shirt pretty promptly. High quality stuff we have on there, and they kick us back the profits from it. So it definitely helps out. Anyway, that's all we got. We'll see you guys next week. Zach, do you got any final words, man?
I want to suck your dicks.
Better words have never been spoken. Bye-bye, puppets.
End of the week at the Revival House. Next month's theme, you gotta figure it out. Italian zombies or Pauly Shore, a slasher with a knife and the girl next door, and 1 second in, get it all queued up and ready, hit play in 3, 2, 1. Bye-bye, puppets. Zach Pete in a solo cut band. Couldn't miss Cameron's love and Josh's Scott failed and Riverman's babe. Bye-bye, puppets. Sounds good, like this country used to.